man. Murder that pussy.
I'm going to play several different videos of what's been happening over the last few days. All right? Rock with me for here. We're going to do it a little bit differently.
The numbers are remarkable. The Ontario Public Service Employees Union says by the end of 2025, more than 10,000 jobs at Ontario colleges will have been cut amid some 600 program cancellations and suspensions over the past year.
We're seeing one of the largest mass layoffs in Ontario's history.
The data was revealed in an arbitrated faculty contract award released last week. OPSU, representing some 55,000 college faculty and support staff, says colleges have been operating like a house of cards.
Building an entire business model on a variable that can change at any moment, like international student enrollment, is risky business.
International student enrollment has plummeted since the federal government introduced a cap in 2024. Coupled with the provincial tuition freeze and the lowest per-student provincial funding in Canada, OPSU says Ontario colleges are facing mounting financial strain. Dozens rallied Wednesday amid the backdrop of a closing campus. Centennial's Story Arts Centre is closing, and programs offered there will be moving to the college's Scarborough site next year, impacting students like Logan Rotier.
There's a beautiful studio there, music studio. I'm a music student. Unfortunately, this studio will have to move somewhere. The journalism students, their program will not be there.
Among the demands, protesters are calling on the Ford government to increase provincial per-student funding to the national average and invest more money in faculty and support staff instead of administrative bloat, saying jobs and education are the foundation of our community.
Without education, we don't have informed workers. Without education, we don't have professional jobs. And there's such a trickle-down effect from that it's almost criminal.
In response, Ontario's minister.
So that's the first video. Okay. Now I'm going to go through a series of videos so y'all can understand exactly what's going on over in Canada. Okay.
We've been seeing over the last few months a number of technology companies starting to announce layoffs, particularly companies in the US. And we've also been seeing a number of retailers starting to lay off employees as well and announcing that their businesses were slowing down. Most notably, Walmart putting out a profit warning this morning. And when we consider that Shopify is a technology company that's primarily servicing retail businesses, then on both sides, really, you can see that their sector has been slowing down quite a bit, and it's not a surprise that at some point it's caught up to them. When it was interesting in the letter that was published, they showed a chart where sales had really moved up ahead of the longer-term growth trend, and now they're kind of coming back to it. So, which in itself is intriguing. Just suggests that the longer-term potential remains there for growth, but what we're running into now is more of a cyclical factor. Whether it's high inflation, it's a slow economy. Certainly, the high inflation and rising costs is impacting retailers.
Remember when Canada first started bucking back at Trump before they actually had Carney become their president / prime minister over there in Canada, and they said that they was going to get at the United States of America? Remember when that was a thing?
More reaction to this news today and the decision by Stellantis and what it means for workers. So joining us now is the Mayor of Brampton, Ontario, Patrick Brown. Mayor Brown, thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
So you've said that you were deeply disappointed by this news. That is something that has been shared by many other Canadians who are speaking out about this. What kind of impact will it have on the community of Brampton, both economically and, of course, emotionally, too?
This is a punch to the gut. There's no other way to describe it. We have 3,000 hardworking Stellantis employees who have dedicated their lives to Stellantis, highly trained, and this stings. So this is the consequence of these Trump tariffs, this attack on the Canadian economy. And it's not just the Stellantis employees. There's going to be many associated auto parts jobs that are affected by this. You know, Trump has been very clear. He's going after our auto sector, steel, aluminum workers as well. And I think automakers are watching Brampton right now and see if Canada will take this lying down, if we'll simply accept our auto sector to be decimated without.
So this is Stellantis, basically Jeep, Chrysler, Ram. They are not building a new Jeep model in Ontario. Instead, they're shutting down a plant and they actually moving that production over here to the United States of America.
Any retaliation. You know, so far we've been very collaborative with Trump trying to get a deal done, while quietly he's been hunting Canadian jobs. And we're feeling this in Brampton. This is ground zero for his attack on the Canadian economy right now.
You know, you touched on some.
So we see that happening in Stellantis. We see it happening in the technology sector. We also see it happening academically in the academic sector over in Canada. Now, remember, all of this is happening at the same time right now. All of this is happening at the same time.
Their shift at the PACCAR assembly plant, workers said it was a difficult day on the job.
Oh, it's very heavy. I mean, yeah.
The union says the 300 workers who were laid off here are the latest victims of the tariff war raging between Canada and the United States. PACCAR assembles Peterbilt and Kenworth trucks. And news of this latest wave of layoffs here comes days after the U.S. signed off on a 25% tariff on medium and heavy-duty trucks made outside the country. PACCAR's headquarters are in Seattle, and the company has declined to comment.
Fabricant de camions au Canada.
Union Representative Jonathan Blais says more than 90% of trucks that roll off the assembly line here are destined for the American market. Now this plant will refocus on assembling trucks.
Now, why would we be assembling trucks in Canada for an American company and then shipping it back to sell here in the United States of America instead of having that production for ourselves? Why would we not? Because see, it's one thing to build cars to sell to Canadians. It's another thing to build cars in Canada, high fucking cost Canada, and then ship them back to the United States of America to sell 90+% of your vehicles here to American consumers. Why would we would have ever did that in the first place? Why was the Biden economy, why was the people that was there before Trump allowing for this type of foolishness to happen?
For Canada.
A year ago, we were getting, I believe, 92 trucks out every day, and that number is going to be down to 18.
And that has sparked concern about the very survival of the plant that has been part of the landscape here in Sainte-Thérèse for 6 decades. But the union is urging all levels of government across the country to act, to buy Canadian now, to order the made-in-Quebec medium and heavy-duty trucks.
We see there's a will from the company to keep this plant in Quebec and to actually continue producing in Quebec, but I mean, the demand needs to increase. We need to have an internal market.
For this suburb northwest of Montreal, this is a heavy blow.
News to bring you this hour concerning Canada's auto sector. General Motors is dropping electric van production at its plant near London, Ontario. The automaker says decreased demand has pushed it to stop making the Bright Drop electric delivery van. The announcement makes uncertainty in the auto industry more pronounced, putting the plant's future and 1,200 jobs at risk.
What I was saying was, now you also have every sector, including suppliers, that are dropping because we no longer need them over in Canada. And now what they're trying to say is, hey guys, we need to create a market for ourselves and force consumers to buy Canadian products so that we can then still have jobs, because all they've been doing is selling to the United States of America. What people across the board, Canadians and everybody else, what they've been basically doing since the beginning of time is they have been selling to United States of America, trying to make it seem like we needed them when we are the consumers. We're the consumers. We are the ones that create the jobs for them, not the other way around. So why would we not be making, buying, and selling right here inside of the United States of America, considering that it's also an American company.
The CBC's Hillary Johnstone is here with more details on this. Okay, what more do we know about this decision, Hillary?
Well, certainly we know that this is more uncertainty and more anxiety for workers within Canada's automotive industry. We know that this particular plant, which is the CAMI plant in Ingersoll, Ontario, which is right outside of London, Ontario, that it has been paused. Production has been paused there since May. At the time, General Motors had cited uncertainty for the future of that EV market, in particular for delivery vehicles. A few things that they are citing today. They do say that part of this is that uncertainty about the future of electric vehicles, particularly for delivery vehicles like the one that was going to be made here, that was supposed to be sort of the cornerstone of Ontario's electric vehicle industry. They also say that U.S. tax credits for EVs, for these delivery vehicles in particular, that has stopped, and that all of this together means that they are not going to be making this particular model, this bright drop electric delivery van at that facility that you're looking at right now in Ingersoll anymore. They are not shifting production anywhere else like we saw with that Stellantis announcement last week. Instead, this is simply the end of the line for this particular model. But it does create a lot of uncertainty for those 1,200 jobs. What is going to happen next? Certainly, GM has indicated that it might have future plans for this facility, but they have not spelled out what those.
Now, the plant is going to shut down. Say what you want about Trump, say what you want about, whatever it is that's going on. The plant is going to shut down, and all of that manufacturing is moving right here inside of the United States of America. All of that is coming right back to the United States of America. It's going away. And if you want this, then you're going to have to create your own economy. You're going to have to start your own companies, and you're going to have to get yourself together. It just is what it is. Let me tell you how bad the market is over in Canada. I'm about to share something with you guys really quickly.
7.1%, a record high since 2016 outside of the pandemic. The opening of a new food basics showed just how high the demand really is. One woman in line has been looking for work for 5 months.
I went from an ED and now I can't even get a job as a dog walker. So you just keep trying anything. So hence why I'm here. I'm willing to go from being a boss to shelving vegetables if that's because you got to pay the bills. But it's really hard to find a job in Ottawa right now.
And do you have people depending on you?
I have twins, 7-year-olds.
How long have you been looking for a job?
Say over 6 months. Yeah, so it's been quite very difficult getting a job, especially when you don't have the Canadian work experience.
Do you feel like the jobs that you're looking for, do you feel like you're overqualified for some of them?
Yeah, for some of them, I know I am, but you have to start somewhere. Like moving to a new country is all starting all over again. So sometimes I feel a bit down, but I know I was actually prepared for this. So.
In a statement to CBC,
people are lined up for jobs in Canada. People are lined up at the grocery store to try and find a job in Canada. That's what the Biden economy and what Kamala Harris was basically driving us to. Right now, we got a little bit of a lull because we're standing up new jobs and we are starting new manufacturing and building new plants and building new economies and all of that stuff. So it's going to take a second. But this is basically what they were driving us to, the Democrats, because they were subsidizing and basically standing up fake jobs with the government, pretending like they was creating an economy when in reality they was outsourcing our jobs to everybody else. So now we are requiring, if a company want to do business here in the United States of America, either you're going to have to pay crazy tariffs or you're going to have to build, work, and play right here inside of the United States of America. And we're going to have to get these illegal migrants out of here that ain't supposed to be here because they're not going to be the ones that's going to get the jobs. But there's people that are lined up out the door to get a grocery store job that are saying that they are overqualified, but they have no prospects whatsoever. And then you actually have people that were saying dumb shit like, yo, we gonna move to Canada if Trump win the president of the United States of America. Go on in, Cletus. Go ahead, Cletus. Ship them off. I'm gonna tell you what's gonna really happen, but let me get to the rest of this.
Food Basics said its Barhaven store opening Thursday, October 30th will have a team of 125. McLaughlin told CBC later on that she won't be on the team because Food Basics rejected her application. But experts say there's no need to panic just yet.
We usually expect that people who lose a job or who switch job takes anywhere from 3 to 6 months to find their next opportunity. Anything longer than that, and especially those who have been unemployed for more than a year, we should be concerned about.
Let me tell you something, Four Eyes. Let me tell you something. My quant, we ain't trying to hear none of that shit, bro. You don't understand what's really happening out here. I'm not going to let no nigga with a flannel shirt tell me what the fuck the job market is doing. I'm not going to let no quant tell me what the job market is doing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get out here in these streets and I'm going to make it shake for a real one. I'm not going to let no talking like that said me. Let me tell you something, Four Eyes. Four Eyes for the queer guy. I'm not letting no quant tell me what is happening out here in these streets. I know it's bad out here. I know it's bad out here. Let me tell you, they're going to bust it down for a real one. The price of the brick is going up. Wintertime is coming. Government is shut down. Canada losing jobs. We're going to have more stay-at-home moms than ever before. We're going to have more stay-at-home mothers than ever before. I'm telling you. All of this independence, all of this other shit that y'all thought that y'all was going on. You said, Anton, you got on glasses too, though. Yeah, I know, but mine's is sweet. His is big. See, if you got the big circle glasses, like a single woman, like a liberal woman, is much different than having the fly ones. See, I will be wearing these even if I didn't have prescription. My shit is transitional. It's like sunglasses, but I can wear them in the daytime, and these are that deal. You know what I'm saying? These are the newest version of what Biggie used to wear, so it's a little different for me. But when you got the big joints and they just all black frames like a single baby mama, that's when we start calling them Four Eyes for the queer guy. Don't let this nigga tell you what to do, or you gonna listen to me. Listen, look
from 3 to 6 months.
His name is Viet View. His name is V. I'm not gonna let nobody called Viet View sit here and tell me what the job market is. Who? View? I don't, bruh. I don't even like people with the same consonant on both on the beginning and the last name. Nigga, you got to get more than 2 letters in your last name for me to listen to you. I'm just telling you the honest to God truth. I don't like people that whose names A start with the same consonant and your last name only got 2 letters in it. I don't trust people like that. I don't trust people like that. If your last name got 2 letters in it, 1 consonant, 1 vowel, and then you got almost the last letter in the alphabet is both of your first letter and both of your first and last name, I'm not listening to you. Viet View. Is that your gamer tag, nigga? That's your gamer tag? All right, now let's get back to it. People grocery store lined up, they trying to get a job. Let's get it.
People who lose a job or who switch job takes anywhere from 3 to 6 months to find their next opportunity. Anything longer than that, and especially those who have been unemployed for more than a year, we should be concerned about.
But unemployment is affecting young people more. According to Statistics Canada, student unemployment was at 17.9% in August.
Just trying to look for a job, bro, you know? It's been hard and stuff, you know what I mean? It's not helping no one, bro. Like, you see the whole line right now? It's a whole big line, bro, and I can't even find a job right now, you know?
So a lot of companies are not firing people and
look at this sassy ass.
Not laying their workforce out. What is happening, though, is because of the trade uncertainty, because of the slackening of the labor market, a lot of companies are hesitant to invest in expansion, in creating new positions.
Vu says that can hurt Canadians the most. With September's labor statistics coming out in days, experts say to expect more of the same. At least
Canada is fucked, y'all. Canada is fucked up. I'm gonna keep it honest with y'all. I'm keeping it 100. I'm keeping it a buck with you. Canada is hurting. If you can move to Ottawa, you can move to Windsor if you want to. Most of the people that work over there in Windsor, they coming over here inside of the United States of America to come to work right over here in Detroit. Every day there are people. I'm looking at the Canadian flag right there. Can y'all see it? Of course you can't see it. Let me show you. Let me see if I can show you the Canadian flag. See the Canadian flag over there? You can't see it? It's right there. It's right there. That's the Canadian flag right there. I'm looking at y'all over there. I see y'all coming over here on a regular basis. I'm looking at the Canadian flag right there. I see them come over here every weekday. Every morning they come over here for work. Every weekday they come over here for work. And they come over here. You know what I'm saying?